All right, so we're here today with Mackenzie Madison, Zoom performance coach and professional triathlete as of 2010. Congratulations on finishing your master's degree and turning pro.
Yeah.
So you began at Iowa State and you finished up at University of Oregon. Tell me a little bit about how that whole process went with your master's.
Well, definitely something that I wanted to accomplish. I did some master's work at Iowa State University, just kind of taking classes, finishing up running. But I definitely learned a lot at the University of Oregon. I mean, the research, we were working more with athletes with heat acclimation studies, and I was doing a lot of testing for the Bowerman Sports Science Center. And so, I mean, I've got a lot of great connections for that, testing some of the Oregon Track Elite Club, and I mean, some of those people are Olympians.
Very cool.
So
very cool. Bowerman, as in the famous coach who was head coach for Oregon. Is that in the 70s or 60s?
Yeah, 70s. Yep.
70s, cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a little statue of Bowerman on the field, just like having to watch. And so I get to run on that track. It's pretty
That's
nice.
great. Now, was he the one who was the coach when Pre was there then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, so now you got your degree in hand and you're a professional triathlete. You're coaching with Zoom. Does this keep you busy, or are you looking to add more things to your plate, or do you have any other little side income action going on, or what do you do?
Yeah, so I have so many other multiple jobs. I mean, people come to me also as well, as far as an exercise physiologist standpoint. People want me to do VO2 max tests for them or lactate threshold tests. And so hopefully I'm going to start working with the Bowerman Sports Science Center. Even though I've graduated, they've asked me to come back and basically help them with all of that stuff. So hopefully that's moving forward. And then also the Oregon Track Elite Club,
Very cool.
I've helped them out a lot. And so they really seek my advice for the training stuff, and they've improved because of that. So it's just really nice to know that what's common sense for me really helps a lot of other athletes. I mean, and world-class athletes, that I'm that talented in that. So
very cool. So
yeah.
you mentioned that. Okay, so it's the Oregon Track Elite Club. So who's,
OTC, yep.
All right. So what are the big races on schedule for 2010?
A couple of them already happened, but those were definitely learning experiences. And it's just always like, you know, you have one part that you're really happy with. There's one leg, like the bike this time or the run this time. So Oceanside and Wildflower were really good learning experiences, and I'm already in the top half mix with not having stellar races yet. So
And it's your first year as a pro. I mean, so.
I haven't really trained. I mean, school's taken over, and I just ran before, so I mean, I have so much time.
So you said, okay, so already what has happened is Oceanside 70.3 and Wildflower.
Yep.
70, and that's a 70.3 race this year, right? It's part of the Ironman series? Is that correct?
No, it's not.
It's still
just
its own deal?
Yep.
It's still its own deal. Okay, cool. All right, so moving on from that, I mean, what are the races left for the year then?
Actually, not this weekend, but June 12th, Boise. So I'm going right into one soon. And then there's a local Northwest Elite. We have Pat Crest. It's kind of just the Northwest Championships of long course, and it's a really fun course. It's in Bend, so anyway, I love the bike on it, so it's fun. And then Vineman, and then we have Lake Stevens, and then maybe Florida.
Clearwater?
Yeah, it depends.
So what would you say, other than Clearwater, out of all of those, I mean, would you say that any one of them is a higher priority than another, or?
You know, I'd like to improve more towards the end of the season, but you know, I know this is kind of weird, but I'm training through a lot of them, and as the summer goes along, and as I get probably Vineman and Lake Stevens, those are going to be kind of the heavy hitters, just because they're flatter and it's about peak time, and if I want to get into Florida, that would be then. But it's just a learning experience and just going out there and trying, because literally there's no perfect race, and it's just that you've really got to dial everything in, and that's really what it is about, learning about all those experiences. And so I've only done a couple, and I'm already at this level, so it's I mean, I just have lots of room for improvement.
Exactly. All right, so all right, in reading through your blog, it looks like you're starting to get it all figured out with how the little things add up.
Oh,
and
yeah.
yeah, so and especially those things, so with anybody, whether you're an age grouper or you're a pro, they matter, but especially we're at the pro level, when, you know, we're talking about fractions of a percent make a difference between the podium and not, and, you know, making a paycheck and not. And so, I mean, tell me a little more about how you've started to figure those out.
Well, for instance, right now, doing a trail run, for a little bit longer extended period of time on shoes that probably I shouldn't have. Got plantar fasciitis from that. And so ran on that further, did more on it, you know, I mean, and that turned into almost a full-blown injury. I mean, I could still run on it, but it did kind of hinder some workouts and some things that I could do, so it was more towards the bike. And then, so just little stupid things like that that you don't really think about every day. Also, I mean, not drinking enough water, or even just not eating something right afterwards for recovery. Right. I mean, or bringing an extra gel on you during the ride and bonking, and when you don't think you're going to, but you do, and just really digging yourself in for the next day. I mean, then you got a foam roll, and then you got to go to bed early. I mean, there's a huge difference between 7 and 8 hours of sleep. Huge. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
And on any given day, it may not make a world of difference, but you add all those little things up over the course of 2 to 4 weeks, a month. I mean, that can have
no stretching. You got to stretch. You have to. So.
Exactly. Well, that's good that you're starting to get those figured out. All right, so for 2010, who are your sponsors?
So I have Tier, and I love it. I get so many swimsuits. It's awesome, and they have a really good brand of stuff. I wasn't really too inclined at first, but I really like their new wetsuit. I mean, I did not try it out before, so I was gonna go with Blue 70, but you know what? I'm actually happy, and it, like, swimming in it is really comfortable.
What model is that?
The Hurricane.
Hurricane.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool.
So I've been really pleased with all their stuff. And then I have Power Bar, then I have Cyclops, and then I have Physiques help me out a lot. And then there's a lot of other like people. Then there's like doctors, chiropractors, and then people who've given me product support as well. And Noon, and there's a lot, but it's just the grander scale people that I just mentioned right now.
So I've seen actually on some of the commercials that power bars are actually starting to, not even necessarily in an endurance context, but they're kind of going the way of, you know, having a pre, during, and post kind of deal. Is that something that they're, you know, products that are available through Power Bar that are catered more towards endurance athletes, or is that?
I would definitely say so, for sure. But I mean, the thing is though, is that that's really directed towards triathletes. That's directed towards runners, like people who are doing endurance stuff. So it's not really more the general population, I would say. And I mean, I guess people need to kind of understand that these are there for them and that they have access to that. But what I personally think is that they have a product that's kind of, you could use this before, during, and after. Really what's the most important is during, and just making sure you have gels and you're hydrated, and especially during races and stuff too. I mean, I can't live without them. There's no way.
Yeah.
Especially on like 5-hour rides. No.
Oh, yeah. All right. So another thing that I've read about is that you've gone gluten-free. So what was the reason that you decided to go that way, and how do you feel about the results for that?
Actually, it was a dinner conversation we had over Christmas. I was talking to Jenny about it, and you know, I kind of realized all these things in my diet that, I mean, I would go out for runs again for maybe second workout of the day. I'd eat either a bagel, or I'd eat something with bread, or just pastas, and I'd wonder why I felt more fatigued, and that just my stomach, it hurt my stomach too, and I couldn't run. I mean, it's just digestion-wise.
Sure. Right. I
really,
think a lot of endurance athletes suffer from some sort of a digestive type of things. Yeah. Yeah,
and so it's helped me so much. It also kind of steers you away from the fake just fillers that people put in your food. So it's not just about just completely avoiding gluten and thinking it's the enemy of the world. It's really what goes with those types of foods that you are eliminating so much excess. I mean, what you put in your body makes a huge difference. I mean, I won't even like look at a cookie or even want a bagel or a pasta or a sandwich. I mean, I don't even want it. Like, that's how convinced.
So you're skipping sandwiches too?
Yeah.
So I mean, so the whole construct of like the turkey sandwich with avocado and spinach and that kind of thing. So if you were to do that kind of thing, I mean, so do you just not eat that anymore, or do you put that on, say, like a tortilla or like something else?
That, or there are special breads that are gluten-free as well.
Okay.
So, and I like tortilla chips a lot, chips and salsa, but it helps you shift towards rice, veggies, fruits,
black beans, that kind of thing.
Everything, yeah.
Yeah. Very cool.